So Javed, lovely to have you here from DC. And whenever you come, Shaukat, and you manage to connect, Shaukat has enormous respect for your intellect, enormous respect for who you are. And it's wonderful to see both of you have stayed together and supported each other. And it's really very nice. And then Anjum, and get along with her, which also is very important. And so tell me about yourself, because my book is about connections, about friendships, about enriching life with people around you.
Yes, Marina, our friendship is from a very long time, and we knew each other, families, his brothers and his Shaukat, when in Lahore in school.
And your brothers?
Yeah, and my brother, and in St. Anthony's. Shaukat was in Karachi actually, and he was sort of back and forth. But the family was there, and therefore we knew the house where they lived, and so it's a very long friendship. But it actually solidified in Cambridge when Shaukat came to Cambridge and at Queen's College, and then we were together. And it was Shaukat came after doing his master's, so he came in a year after I did, and then from there on, it was just being together. So we graduated together, we traveled a lot together, and we went to Europe. It was a really incredible experience. And then we went to France, we went to all over, we went to Switzerland, but I'm not sure where. We started with Switzerland and ended up in all these places. But then I think I just want to mention that with you, Marina, that first of all, had great admiration for your father. I was in the Planning Commission, he was the Governor of the Central Bank, and therefore I was in the fiscal and monetary section, so I had some dealing, but then I was kind of, around and would come in contact, intersect with him in different meetings, and I've always admired him. And then when you got married, it was actually fantastically kind of exciting for us, because the different things were intersecting. And so we came to your wedding, I came to your wedding, and that's when we got to know you. Then after that, in Islamabad, when Shaukat was in Rawalpindi, in the academy, and they came to Islamabad, and I was living in Rawalpindi. We spent a lot of time together there also. And then you went off to different countries and traveled, and we kept in touch, but we were not meeting so much. But since then you came back and you settled into New York, then we had the pleasure of seeing you from time to time, and it is always a feeling of being with the family. Now, Shaukat is an extraordinary person. He's extraordinary in the way he forms connections, in the way he forms friendships, and in the way he's steadfast in that. With Shaukat, I feel that I don't have so many deep friendships, but he is obviously one of my closest friends, and I can call him.
He feels strongly about you. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a mutual feeling, and that whenever we don't speak to each other for months, but whenever there's something in my mind and I call Shaukat, it's always received with such enthusiasm and pleasure that it's extraordinary. So, and of course, Shaukat's career has been stellar. He has done
as have you.
Yeah, but I mean, different paths, yes. And he's done extremely well. He's well regarded by his friends and his colleagues and in the community. And these are all things which are. But the bottom line is that I really love Shaukat, and I feel privileged that he is my friend, and I look forward to actually having this friendship, feel comfortable with it, and this evening today was extraordinary. Again, reflected, we had such a diverse group of people, and but the interests were somewhat similar. They may be coming from different paths, but the humanity of it, the compassion of it, the thought of what it means for people that we interact with, I think there was a lot of commonality. I don't find this in my other conversations with people, which are much more shallow. You talk about this little things, but not really deep things. Here, there was no need to think about it. You were really communicating at a level. I hadn't met most of your friends, these who were here, except Izana, but I hadn't met her for 6 years. So, but again, it just felt as if it was a natural group of people that you could feel comfortable with.
Like-minded people just come together, I don't know how.
Yeah, and they connect because they have common values, common experiences, and common maybe intellect also, because they're thoughtful people, the issues that they are concerned with are similar. So I really have had a fantastic evening today, because after a very long time, I don't feel like getting up and going.
Well, neither do we want you to go. But I also have to say that, you've had a remarkable career yourself. First of all, in the World Bank, which is, but your contribution to Pakistan for LUMS, which is just one of the it is institution by itself. Tell us about
that I think. Thank you for.
No, it's okay. We always talk about it.
Yeah, but thing is that basically, and I was just talking to somebody recently, that I was the first person. I drafted a paper, short 2-page note from Mr. Babar Ali, who was kind of a mentor, friend, and that he was.
And he knew who to choose. It's very important.
Yeah, but he's come to saying, we must do something for management in Pakistan, and industries are suffering because they don't have good managers. So I sort of started talking to him that you have to have an institution which trains managers. And he thought that training managers would be just by having short-term programs and things. And I said, no, that's not it. You have to really grow them take students. You have to come up to that level, and then you have a regular 2-year program. If I gave him a short paper, he liked the idea. He got a group of business people together, and he said to me, why don't you come and do it? And he said, it won't get done. If you don't come, I'm not going to follow up. But if you do come, I'm going to put all my resources behind you. And I know I was thinking about it. That, it was just I didn't.
And how long did it take you?
But so basically, first of all, I got up and went off to Pakistan. There was nothing. There was nobody. Starting from scratch, from trying to see how to go about it, what to do with this and that. But the extraordinary thing was that we built up faculty, built up facilities, we built up the infrastructure, and in 2 years after going there, we started the first class of MBA students. And those after 4 years, at the end of 4 years, one class had graduated, and they've got excellent jobs, and they've gotten
in Pakistan or abroad?
In Pakistan, in Lahore, and they started with Lahore, and they had gotten better pay than the MBAs from all other places. And there are maybe 1,000 graduates or in the US, for example, and in business and in important positions and in Europe.
They come from
LUMS. And they basically graduate, they get jobs. A lot of them in the Middle East. Now in the World Bank, there are people who are from LUMS, and so it's extraordinary.
You feel so proud.
It is very thing, and so I think that it.
No, this just shows the leadership quality. This shows your management, and these are people, your kind of people, who should really be hired for to understand how to build an infrastructure for the country.
Absolutely.
Because we are, I think, fumbling, and we just don't know.
Yeah, and plus also it set up in Pakistan. This became some kind of a model, and now there are 100 business schools in Pakistan.
Really?
And in the private sector and the government, and they're all trying to
raise the standards.
Raise the standards, emulate LUMS. Keep on looking at it as if that is what they need to reach. And so it has actually catalyzed a lot of business education. And then
are they as good?
some different things. I mean, IPS.
Now tell me, what is it so special about LUM that sets it apart?
For the excellent faculty, but the faculty is Pakistani. But the Pakistanis are very talented outside. But they don't see an opportunity for them to make a contribution in the country. If they come, they're not valued, they're not appreciated, and they don't know, so they don't come. But if you reach out and show them that they can make a big contribution, a lot of people will come because they have a love for the country and for family reasons they want to be there. So building the faculty was difficult, but we had first-rate faculty. As we built up, now there are about 150 faculty members, professors, etc., young, old, all kinds of things. But the thing was that the basic setting the foundation, as they say, Babar Ali Sahab says, कि तुम foundation बड़ी strong रख गए हो, इसलिए it's going to be all right.
But that's a fact.
And the foundation is that first of all the value system. You set up an institution in which it's based on merit, that there is no compromise on standards, no compromise on integrity. People come, and then all second is that you work very hard. You set very demanding targets for students to do, and it's important. Students are willing to do as much work as you want them to do, as long as they feel that it's fair and it is beneficial for them. They enjoy it, create a nice environment, and they work 24 hours. They're extremely hard. So hard work, being, for example, punctuality is very important. We used to say from the very first day, when the class starts, the doors are shut. Nobody can enter it after that. Faculty member has to be in the class 10 minutes before the class starts, because he has to set the example that the professor, that otherwise, you had in school, professor walks in, students keep walking. No, everything. So now when you go to LUM, that is what, remember, they say there's no compromise. It starts on time, it ends on time, and everybody is there. There's seriousness of purpose. Then the other thing was that we used this case method of teaching, where everything was taught through cases, which was discussion groups. So all classes were based on, they were given a case, they read, and they would come and discuss it with the faculty member's role was like a conductor in an orchestra. He was not doing anything, he was just guiding it. You speak, kind of, trying to, so that there would be a good, healthy discussion, staying to the point, and learning taking place. So it's not an easy way to do it. So that differentiates it. There's no other school that does it like that. It's like based on the Harvard Business School model.
Also, what a privilege that Babar Ali Sahab is alive to see what he has contributed.
Yes, Babar Ali Sahab's contribution is, unimaginable. For 4 years I worked with him. He was extraordinary sort of support for me. Anything. He said that
But that's also a very big thing. Most of the leaders, they don't like it when somebody is doing something good for them. Immediately they get threatened.
They get scared. They say, "Oh, it's going to be. Why should all the light should be shining on me,
right.
not on him?" He never had that. I never had a feeling with
him.
No.
Once I remember his interview, and he said, when I select people, I know that I don't know anything. When I select somebody, I want them to know. And they have to have the quality to be able to do the job. How much do you ever hear people talk like that? Never.
Absolutely.
They know everything. They're not meant to know everything.
Absolutely.
But when I said that interview, I said this man is a leader.
Absolutely.
He doesn't think that he doesn't want to believe that he knows everything. That's how he appreciated you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And basically, there's a couple of things he used to say to me when he would come to LUMS every day. In the morning, after the packages, he would come and spend an hour and wander around the campus. It was a little campus, first a house, then 2 houses, 3 houses.
So this huge compound, it was sort of acquired gradually.
First of all, they were acquired just houses, 3, 4, and became a compound. This was the first 3, 4 years, first 5 years. But in the meantime, then we started building this new campus.
Achha.
And then it was about 6, 7 years after the first laying the foundation of this thing, that started. So then that's been a permanent thing, and it's growing.
Incredible.
And again, it's a question of vision. It was a business school to start with, but the vision was to make it into a university. the university must have several schools in the university. So it started by a business school, then it had a school of arts and sciences, then it has a school of law, then it's environment, engineering and science, then it's education. There are 6-7 schools now, and therefore it's a full-fledged university. Like with big universities, you have these different schools, and they're all centers of excellence. Each one is outstanding, get the best students, and they
And so many governments have come and gone, but somehow LUMS has remained untouched. This is what I don't understand. Why? How?
Because again, because this was always, it started with that principle that it's not going to have any interference. But the other thing was, again, very interesting, you asked this question, that from the very beginning, when it was being formed, that we were looking for a piece of land where it would be built. And so Baba Sahab and others, we were discussing, and I go back to Baba Sahab and said, look, first thing, never ask anybody to give us any land. Let's go and buy it, so that there's credibility that this is not to make money or anything. And that's what we did. Baba Sahab said, absolutely right. And that's it. And we bought, first started with 12 acres, but we bought 75, 80 acres, a huge campus. The other thing was to have a vision, that this thing is, as you build it, think about it, what it will look like 100 years from now. And then you plan in that context. You don't plan it in the context of just, aaj kya ho raha hai, 100 years. And this is, again, a kind of a vision of the thing, which is now being fulfilled. It's been 30, 40 years old.
Yeah.
And you can see it filling up, but it's still filling up. More than faculty housing was built. Because to have good faculty, you have to have housing. When they come from outside the country, they have to wait to stay. So that became an integral part of it. Then some hostels, because we wanted to be a national institution. And you can't have national institutions if students can't come and stay. So we started building. And in this, Baba Sahab gave a lot of money. These hostels are named after his family, but he's given it, and they will say. Then setting up an EDP, Education Development or Management Development Center. And that was the idea was that you bring in industry people, working managers for a 2-week course, 1-week course, 3-day course, and they see this method of learning. They learn in that thing, but then they become great supporters of this whole expedition, and they hire people. They will say that we spent 3 days and we learned so much. These people have spent 2 years doing this, and they hire them and they give them the opportunity. So it's a lot of things, Marina, that have happened.
No, it's not a lot. It's very important that you're saying this. People would also like to hear it. Why is it that when there's so many problems with the other institutions, how is LUMS surviving all this?
Absolutely.
So LUMS doesn't have to take any orders, instructions from the government.
No, because it's not indebted to anybody. The government, yes,
what a smart thing to do.
The government gave, Punjab government gave at one time 50 lakhs or 100 lakhs, I don't know, some big chunk of money, but that was for supporting it, but that was after it had been set up and they wanted to help. But it's not indebted to anybody. It has its own money, its own foundation, donations, and on that basis, it's completely independent. And I think that makes it able to...
I never realized, always keep thinking, how is it surviving all this?
Yeah, this is...
amazing.
And then always emphasis on quality, to get the best faculty, get the best management, and
heart was in the right place.
Sorry?
I said the heart was in the right place.
Heart is in the right place, the purpose is right, and it is work. And then also, there's a constant desire to do better. And therefore you have international people coming in, inviting people, professors from other places to come, either be there present for a term or just for a few days, give feedback, etc.
But the institution speaks for itself. Where it stands today, it just speaks for itself. It's amazing.
Yeah, so this is...
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Javed, it's a big thing. In that environment, it's difficult to achieve all this. But you did it between you and Baba Ali Saab. It's an incredible contribution to the country.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you.